Welcome back, Halo followers. We got some juicy fly-throughs of the new maps, as well as a new Waypoint article breaking down what we are getting, including some good stuff with Forge, something that might excite you. It's all coming next week. We have just tons of content to be really excited about here, and 343 has broken it down for us, so I'm really excited to discuss this with you guys. But before we get into it, if you appreciate this kind of content and you want to see more and you want to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate a like. Really helps boost this video up the YouTube algorithm. Yes, there's a new 3-minute fly-through of the 3 new maps that we're getting. Oasis, Cliffhanger, and Chasm. Oasis is beautiful, stands out from the other maps aesthetically. This is a pure vehicle map, all for BTB. That juicy 24 players is going to be a blast to play on this. Of course, it's got some amazing skybox to look at. Cliffhanger, which is set on top of an ONI Blacksite on top of a mountain, also featuring some man cannons. This one, very, very exciting too. And then Chasm, and basically, I didn't know this at first, it's basically like boarding action from Halo CE, but with grapple shots. And there's some really fun things to think about with this one too. So, firstly, let's discuss Oasis. They say the first thing I have to do is marvel at the stunning vista. Yeah, they have this really nice concept art that was translated into the map. They say that we use those concepts to help guide us to a final direction that becomes a visual target for the game art moving forward. So basically, concept art made into the game really, really well here. CTF modes were particularly exciting on this map during testing. Vehicles allowed for some truly epic flag capture runs. This does quite honestly feel like just a true-to-heart Halo map. Of course, there are some things I would say personally are a little bit off about it, but by God, this is looking really great. It's going to really start stacking up with the content in this game. I think that there's plenty of maps and modes at this point after Season 3 drops on March 7th. They say that risk and reward aspect of Halo's vehicular gameplay is always incredibly engaging, and Oasis is a great showcase of that. I am so excited for this one. I love BTB. That is what Halo is to me, honestly. Biome diversity is always a big one for us when it comes to multiplayer maps. We want this space to feel different from past maps we've offered. Thank goodness they caught up on that. And not only this, guys, we have some exciting news with Forge that might mean that we're going to be playing on, Forge with these maps, so we can change the lighting. That is something I want to discuss later, but yes, they say ONI Blacksite. This is Cliffhanger, right? So this map is quite different to the more traditional UNSC aesthetic. So it's kind of inspired by Live Fire or Recharge. This one is a bit different. It focuses on a rock, paper, scissors dynamic with zones around the map. All of it's been thought out like a well-made Halo map always needs to be. Something they say I always enjoy about aesthetic maps is that there are scenarios that naturally created by the map layout, like Halo 3's High Ground, where the turret above the door to the enemy base creates a sense of a siege. So yeah, maybe inspired a little bit by High Ground. This map looks very beautiful, and quite frankly, I think it would be wild to play with 24 players. I think that would be just a blast. They say this map came to be when my friend Andrew and I were running through the Halo Infinite campaign network co-op flight. Now they're talking about Chasm. As we were playing through the second mission, Foundation, we were goofing off in a particular area, and I thought this could be a fun space to play in for multiplayer. So he investigated this, pulling this space into the multiplayer level. Noticed, they say, note, it's not as involved, a little bit more involved than Control-C and Control-V, copy-paste. Even though it looks incredibly similar to the space in the campaign, it has been laid out differently. And that one of the things I think they say is awesome about this map is the risk of falling into the chasm. But with the grapple shot, you can actually turn that to your advantage, make some incredibly cool skill jumps, and maneuvers that turns falling from a danger of death to a risk and reward route throughout the map. So this map kind of is going to be playing a little bit like boarding action in a way. Of course, it's a lot more closed in, a lot more, thought out, honestly. But this one does look particularly fun. I think it is probably the most boring aesthetically from all the others, because this looks like it could be honestly in Forge. Just about. I think there's quite a lot of things in it that make it look better than a Forge map, of course. But, I mean, this map I think is going to be great to play on, and definitely better than replaying one of the maps we've already played 1,000 times in matchmaking. So, more maps are totally welcomed, and also I think this one's just going to play pretty well. They say, I think the visuals of the space are awesome. Being in this cavernous depths of Zeta Halo has this eerie and mysterious feeling in the campaign that translates really well to this map. And they go on to say about the new Sandbox additions, namely the Bandit Rifle and the Shroud Screen. They say, how will this change the way that these maps are played? Well, one of the developers say, I think that they're both strong additions. A lot of the feedback we got from players on Chasm noted that it felt like the Bandit worked really well for the kind of ranges you have on the map. Shroud has been great on Oasis as well. It's fun to smoke a long sight line before pulling a flag. We've seen some amazing Houdini plays around it. So yeah, the Shroud Screen is basically like a smoke screen. It's gonna be able to be shot through both ways, but you can't really see what's in there. So I'm assuming blocking the reticle too. Hopefully they fix that. So yeah, this is going to be really exciting to play with the Sandbox items here. We've previously stated that we're bringing editable dev maps to Forge in Season 3. Does that include these 3 maps as well? And a developer says, yes. Each of these maps are editable on release along with the previously shipped Arena and BTB maps. Future maps will be editable on release as well. This is great news. Finally, Forge is catching up. We are going to be able to change the lighting on Oasis as well as Cliffhanger, which, you know, not to mention being able to create any kind of mini game modes or changing these maps around a little bit or taking advantage of the dev-like qualities. I mean, that's what Forge is about, you know, being able to change dev maps as well as the canvases, of course, but changing dev maps is definitely going to be really adding to the ecosystem of potential maps we might be able to see in matchmaking at some point and little modifications. But also, you know, I really hope that Cliffhanger and Oasis and maybe even Chasm, that these objects are brought to the Forge palette because they look beautiful, right? What modes can players expect to be playing on these maps? Do you have any that you're especially excited about players getting to experience? Well, they say, I'm a sucker for CTF, so I really enjoyed CTF matches on these maps quite a bit. On Oasis, there's been some truly incredible flag runs with Warthogs and Banshees chasing you down through the caves. Yeah, there's caves on Oasis, which we haven't really quite seen in detail yet, but I mean, they look amazing. I like that they stand out from the other maps in Halo Infinite. We really do need variety at this point. They say on Cliffhanger, Strongholds, King of the Hill, and One Flag have been super fun. I bet One Flag, I mean, that's a favorite of mine. Also using the main cannon to fly across the map into hill locations have been super fun and risky. So yeah, one mention about Chasm here. People loved faking their deaths on this map, pretending to jump off the edge into the abyss, only to use the grapple shot to swing back up with incredible momentum that will have them sailing across the map into the another part of the map. This is something that 343 realized, that Halo's never been able to play this way, and I gotta say, like, you know, despite all the negative things about this game, I think that this is probably the funnest Halo yet. I mean, gameplay-wise, gameplay core mechanics-wise, it is really fun. I think it's really updated, and it still feels like Halo, and I like the Sandbox a lot. So I'm excited to see the Bandit Rifle. I'm excited to see the Shroud Screen. I really wish stuff was coming sooner. And this is the shortest season that we're getting so far. If everything releases on schedule for Season 4, then yeah, I mean, Season 4 is going to be really juicy. They're prototyping, I think, Season 5. They're wrapping up these things on Season 4 right now, as said by 343. So we have a lot to look forward to, that this game does have a bright future. And I just hope that they keep working on it, because I think at one point this game can be in a good state. I don't know if it's going to bring back everyone, probably not, but, and as I've said with the last season as well as this one, look, it's worth checking out. Do yourself a favor, reinstall Halo Infinite if you've uninstalled it, and try it out on March 7th. I think it's going to be worth playing, if not for a long while, at least for a week or two. So anyways, guys, I'll catch you in the next one soon. Peace.